Hallelujah, Nyame tiasio, o tiasita.
Hello, this is Elcays. Today we are here to review Nyame Tiase cover by Grace Charles from Team Eternity. This is more of a vocal review, and so y'all vocalists should sit back and take some notes. All right, so from the beginning of the song, you hear Grace Charles has kind of a broken voice. I don't know if that's how natural her voice is or if it's because of the performances they've done prior to this one. But she has this broken voice in this performance, and I like her approach to the song. She, knowing that she is in that state, decided to have this relaxed performance of it. I like how she started the whole song. She took her time and then made sure her words were out, her tones were also out perfectly. And there are people who have this broken voice naturally, and it's something you should learn to know that no matter how textured your voice is, you could still give out a very good performance, whether it is how you are naturally or if it's at a state in which you've gotten to. Maybe you've gone through some performances and then you've strained your voice a bit. Maybe like, oh, you don't want to perform again. No, you don't have to do that. You just have to learn to use what you have at that moment, because it is your voice and you have to know how to use it. So looking at Grace Charles, from the beginning, she had that broken voice, so she stood a bit back and made sure that her vocals were out, and she softened the beginning of the song. That's a very good practice. Anytime you're starting a song, please don't start shouting. Like, carry us into the realm. So you take it from a low point and then raise us up into the high part of the song. So she took her time, started the song a bit cool, very calmly, and then made sure her vocals were out perfectly. I like the fact that she used the airy voice thing. Like, she aired her vocals because it was kind of approaching a low notes. She was approaching her low notes, so she had to use the airy voice to make it better. And when she was about hitting the high part of the song, she didn't want to belt out because she was still trying to maintain the coolness at the beginning of the song. So she kind of nasaled her vocals a bit to be able to hit the high notes without shouting or without belting. So you can just reverse the video or like rewind the video and then watch that aspect of it, because I don't want to make this video very lengthy. So it's one thing you have to also know is the voice is yours. You got to control it. Know how to use your dynamics very well, and then know how to present your vocals no matter the state in which you are in, because it's your voice and you only can manage it. One of the things I admire about good vocalists is their ability to control their voice. You think if you strain, it's always very difficult to articulate your notes. Yeah. So you see some of the parts of the song, at the beginning she had this a bit delay in bringing out the vowel or the tone that she wanted to bring out, but she still brought it out anyway because she knew the state in which she was in. If you are in a absolute good vocal point where you feel like nothing has strained your voice, you see that it's easy to articulate vowels and then sounds and tones. But once you've strained, you have that a bit breakage in your voice. So some things might not be easily pronounceable or singable. So Knowing that very well, you need to approach your vocals with a different technique. And she is doing marvelously with what bringing those vowels out, even with her state of vocals. Alright, so you heard me say at the beginning that she didn't want to belt out, so she nasaled her voice, not because she couldn't hit the notes, but because she wanted it to be soft at the beginning. Now she's gotten to a point where she wants to belt out. It's even higher than the first notes she hit, and this is where she decided to just chest it all out. And that is dynamics for you. You should know when to give a full high volume and then when to relax a bit or soften your voice. And this is a perfect example. She got to this point and then she was like at a chorus part or a place where she wanted to belt out, and she did it very well. And another thing you should notice is that she is doing a very marvelous job with her mic control. At the points where she knows she's going to sing a low note, she gets a bit closer and then releases those vocals. And at the point where she was about hitting the notes, you could see that she moved back a bit before hitting the notes, because that is how you control the mic, and then make sure that you are still sounding very well, whether you are shouting or singing low. The mic is in your hands, so you have to know how to control it. Another point to note, I don't know why most singers are always very reluctant to use their mouths to pronounce the various vowels. Like if you're singing and you're pronouncing an O, let it see the O with your mouth. Let it give an O, A, E, E. Those things you sing, you feel like you're trying to be gentle while singing. It doesn't make you any better singer, because you're a singer. If you want a typical example, look at Yolanda Adams. She's one woman that can be very, very vivid with her vowels and then her mouth articulation when it comes to singing. So you could feel every expression on her face, showing how emotional she is with her songs. So if you're singing and you are singing oh, and then your mouth is like who are you trying to flex on? You are a singer, please forget about trying to still look good and then sing your song. If you're pronouncing an O, let your mouth show the O, so you could see a typical example, and it makes it easier for you to bring out those sounds, because once you are restricting your mouth's movement, you are restricting a lot of other features that will help you to sing better. So anytime you have an O in your sound, please let it come out. O, A, E. Let it show on your facial expression. As you can see, Grace is doing very well when she was oh my, oh my, oh my. So make sure that all shows on your mouth. It helps you articulate your vowels better. So before the Nyame Tiase, you could hear her breathing. Very, very important. See, singing is more about trickery. Alright. She knew this part of the song is going to be sustained for long in a belted voice. Both of these things are going to consume a lot of air. So before you start, make sure you take in a lot of air. Keep a lot of air in your lungs. That will help you to sustain your notes, because you're going to go for a while and you're going to sing in a belted key. Both of these things consume a lot of energy and air. So you need a lot of air in your system to be able to maintain such notes. If you don't prepare ahead before starting this, then you get stuck at a point, then you cut it there. That is what a lot of singers suffer from, because you don't think ahead before singing. She has taught everything to so Nyame, before she started Nyame, she breathed in Nyame tia so. You can sustain for a very long time because you have sufficient air in your system to help you manage whatever it is you want to go with. So another thing you should always take note of. So I've always said nasal resonance is not a bad thing once you use it right. There are a lot of vocal techniques that we use, but we just use it at the wrong time and then use it the wrong way. That is why it kind of makes people think it's a bad thing. But it's not actually a bad thing. Alright. So knowing when to use them and how to use them is very important. There are people who even use it throughout their music. We have Sia, we have Rihanna and other people. And then we have others who use it at a point where they need to use it. Grace is using it in and out of her ministrations, and you would barely notice them because she's using them rightly. So there are parts of her song that she sings and then nasals it up, and it sounds good. Alright, so you should know when and how to use all these vocal approaches, the growls, the nasal resonance, the vibratos. All these things have their places to be used at, and even the riffs and runs, you should use them at the appropriate places. Did you see what she just did there? Another way to sustain your notes. Just hum it. Right? It's within your mouth. You don't use much energy to do that. So at a point where you feel like you want to do runs, but it doesn't have to be any giddy thing. Just Charlie, find a way to manage yourself, right?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Nyame tasyo, o tasya. Hallelujah, Nyame tasyo.
Alright, so given this last one, it's got to do with our instrumentalists. Alright, so I like this keyboardist a lot. Like, very professional keyboardist. I like the fact that from the beginning he had his time. He took his time. He was like synced with Grace. Alright, he wasn't trying to overshadow her. Neither was he trying to underplay. So he was doing two things. He was giving her the space to perform and then also coming in at his part. That is music. You're supposed to work together. Alright, you don't come and be like playing your own thing when the singer is singing her own thing. You're supposed to work together. That is why there's a need for rehearsals. Alright, so you can see this was a very well rehearsed song from both Grace's point of view, and I mean from Grace and the keyboardist. They have really rehearsed this song and it was perfectly rendered. Keyboardist was just good. Alright, he was dope. I kind of like his handworks. He played at the right time. Like, he was giving her the parts where she needs to come in, and the parts he also needs to fill it up. He does it very well. And their modulations and notes and transitions are just crazy. Charlie, This was a very good one. Like, it was how Grace was very consistent with her modulations, even within the various keys. For me, she was absolutely ready for this song, and they nailed it up. I just like the whole switch and turns that they added to the whole vibe, and it was a good one. So you guys should really take this song, try to use it to perform or perfect or practice, and then learn a few tips and tricks from Grace and her keyboardist. This goes to both the singers and the keyboardists as well. So this was perfectly rendered. Alright, so this brings us to the end of my vocal review on Grace Charles from Team Eternity. And I hope you guys learned a few things. We'll do more of this as time goes on. And so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and share and be informed. If you're a vocalist or even if you're not, just stay tuned to our channel and you'll get more. And until we meet again, thank you, share, subscribe. See ya.
Alléluia, Nyame t'assure, oh tiens c'est bien. Alléluia, Nyame t'assure.